Welcome back everybody to another Geometry Dash tutorial. This one is going to be very interesting. It's going to be for pretty much any Geometry Dash creator that wants to simplify his workflow, or just get to know a bunch of tips about the Geometry Dash editor, some secrets that people use in order to make things faster or to take things into their advantage. So today we're going to be talking about these so that you guys can learn too. So one thing that quite a few people know, I realized, is that if you have a structure like this, for example, and then let's say you want to have spikes like this, but you want to have more spikes. And so what you do is you copy and paste it and put it like that. Then you copy and paste it and put it like that, which is honestly pretty bad. You could do this and then that, which, does take some time. But what if you want to have a bit more spikes? Let's say you want to have 2 or 3 more. Now it's going to start looking weird. So a way to fix this easily is to select every single spike, click on here, and then align X. And what this is going to do is make the distance between all the spikes exactly the same. So if you do this, select everything, align X, and you guys can see that we have a perfect looking thing. And now you can even do this and select everything, align X, and it is just so much cleaner with a perfect distance. And if let's say you had a wall like so, then what you would do is firstly you just want to copy and paste so that you have enough spikes. That's really all that matters. And then just place the first one and the last one in the perfect spot, select them, and now align Y, because we are going vertically now. So copy and paste one, and let's see how that's gonna look like. Cut like that, and just beautiful. You could use this in a lot of things. I sometimes use it in triggers. If I have a lot of triggers, I just do this and align X, and they look just phenomenal. So that is one thing that you could do. Now another thing also that is especially helpful in 2.2 and upcoming updates is that let's say you have a level. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead on one of my levels. It is called How to Editor, and this level I've actually made completely from scratch on YouTube. I have a full playlist where you can see me create this entire thing as a tutorial for you guys. But let's say you have this level and then you want to have this exact spike, right? And then you go ahead and search in here, where is the spike? Where is the spike? It was I think it's this one, and then you place it and then it's right. But that takes a lot of time. And there is a very secret thing that you can do, is that firstly you want to select the thing, go to that layer and deselect, and then just deselect everything in here. So this has selected objects, so we want to not have anything selected, and then you just click on it and you guys can see that it brought us right here. So now this thing, right, let's test it with this thing, deselect everything, just click on it, and boom, it has taken us straight there. And phenomenal, very cool. Now another thing is that let's say for example you want to place another one that looks exactly like this. Now that you have it selected, you can click here and then you can look at this, click here, see the colors 13 and 14. So you go here and do 13 and 14, and then you want to see these guys too, 27, 39. So you go ahead and do this. It's very boring. There's a very smart way to do it. And the first thing is that you could place it and then select the one that you want to copy from, and then do copy values, and then select that one and then paste color. So this is gonna basically just take those colors and just paste them on here, exactly what we want, so we don't have to like manually do it. And paste state, what it does is it pastes all of these guys, so it is exactly the same. But one even faster way is after you've actually placed an object, if you select the same object in here and place it again, it's actually gonna place it with the exact same properties, including the scale. You guys can see that this has the color and the group and everything exactly the same, which is honestly pretty cool. So that is a way to save a lot of time. Another thing I use a lot in my platformer levels is if you go, for example, to my level Hollow Dungeon and you copy it, you're gonna see that first of all, let's actually disable the shaders. This is also another tip. If you're in a level and it looks weird and there's shaders and everything, just click here and preview shaders, disable it, and now everything should be clean. This only does it in the editor, so that if you play it actually is gonna render the shaders. Oh my god, is this level huge? This is insane. It's been so long since I made this, but you're gonna see this fire, and let's say you want to have your own fire in your own level. And what I always do is I copy things from the beautiful the sewers. So this is RobTop's platformer level. And how do you get this, the editor of it? How do you do that? Well, there's an account called Rob's Vault, and just go on here, search for it, go on to there. You can go to lists, and then under the tower, you're gonna find all the platformer RobTop levels ready to be copied, exactly like they are. So we're gonna go ahead and copy the sewers like so, and we're gonna copy the flames. Click F6 to hide these guys. So hide invisible is F6 on the keyboard, and we're gonna get into like the shortcuts in a bit, but now look for this one, right? Let's say we want to yoink this one into my own level. You could copy it and then paste it there, but that's gonna lead to some problems. So the best way to do it is to select the thing that you want. Make sure you select everything, including the particle, although RobTop did not link it. We're gonna talk about that too in a bit. So select it, then go to here, and then copy plus color. And now you can pretty much exit this and go back to your own level. Let's say, I don't know, I am making a platformer level, this is it, and I want to have that torch in there. Don't click paste, because if you do, what's going to happen is that, first of all, why did I copy this one too? Okay, you're going to have this torch, which doesn't have any colors. It's weird and it doesn't really work. So go to here and paste plus color. And you guys can see that we have exactly the same torch, but yeah, he has colors. And if you go over here, unlink it, you're going to see that it actually uses the next free colors. So even if you had a level with an already used color ID of 39, it's just gonna like use the next free one, which is just phenomenal. I love stealing this torch and I always get away with it. And the particle is right there and phenomenally put. Yeah, just make sure you don't steal too much from other levels. I mean, you should never steal too much from, I mean, you should never steal at all from other levels. But the reason why I stole from RobTop, because I think he's totally fine with it, to be honest. But yeah, what else? You guys saw that we used some keybinds. So if you're on PC, click F1 to basically just lock the thing. So let's say you're changing the background color to red, like so. And so you're changing the color to this. And let's say you want to just stop right here and you want to build in here. Let's say you want to have something in here, but you want the background to have the color of here. So you can lock the preview and continue in here, which just works perfectly fine. Nice. And F2 unlocks it. So preview lock and unlock. I'm not too sure if this even exists on mobile, honestly, but F3 exists. And this is if you have like a object that has been toggled off. You can actually see it if you click on F3, which is preview mode over here. F4 is very cool for particles. Let's say you have a particle that's set on animate on trigger, and it's basically going to stop animating as soon as it ends. So if you have 30 seconds, you're going to see that it's just going to disappear, although the particle exists. So F4 is going to show the particle icon, showing you that yes, there is a particle in there. In here, mobile guys, you guys can see it in here. So F5 just shows the hitboxes. The hitbox that is red kills you. Hitbox that is blue is touchable. The hitbox that is passable is cyan. The hitbox that is grip slope is pink. Ice block, I mean, or something. Yeah, you guys get the idea. So F6 hides the invisible. Let's say you had an invisible spike right here. So you go here, make it hide, and now you can click F6 to show those objects just for you. And yeah, on and off and all of that. F7 does not exist. Yeah, the rest of the guys do not exist right now. So now let's say you are building a level, you know, you're coming up with some cool stuff. You're watching my tutorials and you just came up with an epic structure like this. And then you place a bunch of saw blades to make yourself a jetpack by default. And then you start, and then you realize that the objects that go off screen, you guys can see that they are kind of fading away. And that isn't that very cool, because sometimes you have a lot of objects and it's very weird. So to fix this, what you could do is select everything, edit group in here, don't fade and don't enter. However, the problem with this is that if you add new objects, you're basically going to have to always do that. So now you guys, if you look at the edge of the screen, everything is perfectly smooth, exactly what we want. So let's say you don't want to do that. So another thing that I like to do is just add this one, just add it at the beginning of the level. And now every single object that you add is going to be set to don't fade, don't enter. It actually doesn't set them, but what it does is it sets the transition to a non-existent one. However, if you use this one afterwards, or if you're using a RobTop level or something, it's gonna disable them, but then it's gonna start a different animation. So now they are scaling up. up, you guys can see. So yeah, just make sure there isn't one afterwards that like that. Otherwise, if your level is finished, just go on here, select all just to be sure, and then in here, don't fade, don't enter. Pretty cool. Now, another thing that I also realized a lot of people don't know is that if you have this one, for example, and you wanted to follow the player, let's say, and bonus tip again, if you want to start the level somewhere, as the platformer mode, you can actually start wherever you want. So just add any object, for example, this one, give it a new group ID, let's say 2, go to here, here, and then 2. And now it's basically going to make you spawn exactly right there. I'm going to make myself the cube, and I'm simply just going to add like a stairs like that. And yeah, pretty cool. However, in classic mode, it actually only takes your Y position of this one. So you always have to start in here. But you can set if you want to start up there or down here. So at least we have some freedom. Let's say you want to move this block with the player. So you can add a move trigger. And firstly, you want to make sure that this block has the group ID of 1. This is the next free group ID for me. Add the move trigger right here, edit object 1, and then lock to player. And what this is going to do is follow it for a brief moment, and then it's going to stop because we said only do it for half a second. So this is the time in seconds. So now you could go crazy if you want to follow it forever, but eventually it's going to die off. So an easier way is just to type -1. And this basically means it's going to do it infinitely. It's just going to keep doing that until eternity finally arrives, and then it's going to stop. Yeah, which is basically never. Now, a bit more advanced stuff is that let's say you have these monsters, right? And they're all kind of like, actually, this is not a good example. Let's say you want to have these guys and F4, F5 actually to disable the hitboxes. And let's say you want to, I don't think that's a good, I think a better example would be with triggers because it's a bit more advanced. Let's say you want to give this trigger the ID of 1 and this one 2, this one 3, 4, 5, and so on. It's going to take forever. So to fix this, you can just add them, select them on here, and then new group X. And this is basically going to do the exact same thing as we wanted. 1, 2, you guys can see 1, 2. And if you don't see this, go here, show object info. Shows you the group ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfectly fine. And if they were like that, just the same thing, but new group Y. And you guys can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it even takes the next free one. So if you do it again, it's just going to start with 7, 7, 8, 9. And if you continue, it's going to start with 13, do this, 13, 14, whatever. You guys get the idea. So that is pretty cool. Now, if you are on PC and let's say you want to have like a 3D looking thing, you can copy and paste it, move it to there, and then click Control T. If you're on mobile, just go on here and click this one. This is just a shortcut, Control T for the PCs, and over there, scale it down and do this. However, what's important is that you should make it no touch, because otherwise you would not be able to flip it like that. And now you guys can see that we have a pretty cool looking 3D. Now, as of right now, copying and pasting this and rotating it, yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but if you want to have it like so, you can just go ahead and yeah, make it custom. Just make sure no touch is always enabled. And now we have a 3D block. You're gonna have this behind the player, make it as B1, and now it is phenomenal. So how do we enable these guys, and what even are these things? So if you go to here and enable link control, this is very, very helpful actually. If you have an object like this, and let's say, I don't know, like it's really decorated like so, and you want to copy and paste it, but you realize that you have to like select all of it, and if you miss one, it's going to be annoying. So to fix it, you can just select everything and link them. So what this means is that this one is a single block. Now, no matter which one you select, it's actually just going to go ahead and give you the entire thing, which is pretty cool. Useful for if you have a coin, for example, and there's a lot of animations on it and, you know, particles and all that stuff. You can just link them, and anytime you need them, just copy and paste them. To unlink, just click this, and every single object is on his own, which is pretty cool. So what next? What is there next that we can teach y'all? Okay, so a lot of people don't know this, but if you have an object that you can scale, you can only scale it to 2. Now, how do you make it 4 and to 0.25? Just go here, in there, and over here, and increase scale. I also recommend making this one small warp buttons, and what this will do is just make these buttons a lot smaller. By default, they are like really big, I think, but I think I need to restart the editor for this, as it's stated in here, I believe. Yeah, you have to restart the editor, but I'm not going to do that. So yeah, just enable that so that you can actually scale things up like so, and like that. And if you're wondering what this one is for, before, it's a good idea to know what this is. So if you have an object like this and you want to scale it up like that, it works. But let's say it was like this and you want to go crazy with it, not this, but you want to do this, well, you could do that too. And yeah, you had like a lot of X's and you want to scale them all, you can just enable this, and yeah, that is very, very cool. So yeah, I guess that has been it for those small hints and tips for y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something new. Make sure to slap that subscribe and like, and I will see you guys in one of those tutorials that is on the screen that you should watch right now. Watch the entire playlist. I highly recommend it, and I will see you guys in the next video.